Let's start recording. So we are going to go over glitch art today. I'm really excited to show all of y'all different software. We should have Audacity downloaded on our computer and the other program, which I'm a little bit more, it's the newer program of the bunch. But in this project, you will explore the aesthetic of glitch art through data bending, pixel sorting, and digital manipulation. We're going to be using Photoshop. We're not using Illustrator. Uh, that note kind of slipped in there. Audacity and HxD. You will transform your portraits that you made. So all of your portraits that you've made, even the low poly one, we're going to use those assets and we're going to glitch all of those assets, and then we're going to sequence them into a GIF. And this assignment, we're going to examine error as an aesthetic and distortion as a means of like self-expression, or like kind of like give you different tools that you might not find anywhere else. I guarantee you none of the teachers here do this in practice or kind of showed this before. Again, the software is Photoshop, Audacity, and HxD, and the materials is your digital self-portrait assets. We should have those already. Everyone did it. There's not like one person who didn't do it, I believe. So I'm really happy about that. So thank you. Give yourself a pat on the back. I guess like some more technical stuff out of here, kind of the basic design principles and deconstructive design principles. We've used a little bit of color theory, and we use different saturations and hues and different colors to make our portraits. We're going to use repetition to like loop a GIF, and we made different compositions and kind of that have some sort of balance with color at least, or like not so much balance with the complementary colors. But we're going to disrupt the form. We are going to fragment the form through glitch. It's kind of like think about visual noise. When we put them in the video, we're going to talk about layering and movement. And since we are using a portrait and kind of subverting it a little bit, we're destabilizing representation. That's the whole mode of this project. So if you haven't done it already, what we're going to do, we're going to prepare our image. So we're going to have to like convert our files to a different format. Technically, it doesn't matter what format, but for the sake of this assignment, it's a little bit easier for a certain format we're going to use. And we're going to data bend in Audacity and HxD, which is a hex editor tool. You can also use Notepad, and I haven't had the notes in there, but you can technically put a image file and put it into Notepad to glitch it out. I don't know, has anyone ever done anything like this before? Good. We will try it out. So we're messing with files and we're forcing them into programs that they're not meant to be in. And then we're going to spit that back out and we're going to make a different image from there. So like we're messing with data on we're messing with the ones and zeros, and we are manipulating this in a physical capacity. We can kind of clean them up in Photoshop if you want, but we probably won't get there. So you should have these downloaded onto our computer. We should know what this file is. We've done something very similar. If you need a different file size, 8.5 by 11 inches, 300 DPI.
What HxD app are we downloading?
I have a link
Okay.
in the slides, and the slides are in Blackboard right now. You should have it. If it looks sketchy, let me know. There's a link.
I just Googled it.
It's okay. It's if you Google it, that's completely fine. But some people, this is a safe link. I swear. It might not look it, but it's safe. The first thing we're going to need to do is convert our files to a BMP.
Yeah.
You could use it in Adobe Encoder, but sometimes Adobe Coder, for some reason it messes everything up. So we're going to actually go into a website and put our assets in and re-download them as the right file size. Technically, we could use a PNG and a JPEG, but let's do the BMP right. The first thing we need to do. That's the first step. And this is the file converter that we need to use. I will go over this and I will put images in there just so I can go through the process as well, if that's okay. So I'm going to do that right now. I have some files. So this is the website to Cloud Convert. And I'm just going to select some files right now. As you can tell, I already did this assignment, but I want some new ones. Pretend what I'm going to put in are the portraits. So I already have glitch me. I'm going to put this bat in there. These are PNGs right now, and I'm copying them, so I'm already messing up. That's okay. Boom. We're going to open them up. And then, since they're PNGs, I want to convert them as BMP. There's a reason why they need to be a BMP for this. Each file will give you a different effect. You don't have to know that by now. That's some experimentation you can do on your own. But different files will glitch differently. And this might be very new to all of you. We're going to go do it this way for now, so if you've never done this before. I'm going to click Convert. And then I'm going to re-download them. So your computer is going to love you after this. It's almost like I am downloading all of your files onto my archive. So, which is really funny. So I want to... We can make a file that just for to have everything in a nice spot. We can have the clean files that you're going to glitch, and then you're going to have a file that for BMP files. And I'm just going to kind of click and drag them right now. We can see some work from your classmates. I'm just making sure all of y'all can see that. All right. So this is the fun part. I got my files ready. I'm going to open up our Audacity. And I've been doing this for years, data mosh in Audacity, and I sometimes also forget what formats they need to be in. So I will look at my notes just in case, because sometimes I need a visual. And we have all of this. We have all the instructions here. So let me go over the instructions just so we're transparent on everything. So when you open up Audacity, we should see this interface. And usually this is for an audio. So if anyone does audio in this class, yeah, have you used Audacity before?
Yeah, not a while, but I used it.
Okay, it's pretty intuitive.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not like it does what it needs to do.
It's really old, but like.
And that's the reason why we're using it. Usually it's freeware, and freeware you can manipulate it a little bit more. That's why I like freeware more than like using. We can technically data mosh in Photoshop, but we're not doing that as well. That is for another. I can teach a whole class on data mosh. So the first thing we're going to need to do, we need to go to import and then raw data. And then, so let me do that right now. I go to File, I go to Import, I go to Raw Data. And then I'm going to pick an image file. I thought everything was kind of going away at first. Let's see, glitch me. And I'm going to put one of these characters in. So the first thing you need to realize is when you glitch something, don't do the original file. Make a copy of your files. Again, do not use your original file because you're going to save over it with this method. And if you save over your work, guess what you don't have anymore? Your actual original work. So again, please make a copy. If you don't know how to make a copy, we can right click, copy, or Control V, copy of a copy. Let's put this into Audacity right now. So we have various different kind of encoding, byte order channel. We can put in a mono, but we want to change this to ULAW. And this one is, I think it's the little, yes. And then we press import. The channel is mono. So do it this way for now. Technically, you can explore all of this. This is just like the way I'm showing you for this project. All right. What do we see here? An audio file. What do you think this is going to sound like right now? Yeah, it's going to be real loud, real bold. It's like a thick file. Different files are going to look differently in this program. So I know this is very abstract for a lot of y'all, and technically we're doing something wrong, and that's like the awesome part of this. I really enjoy. So like, does anyone want to hear what this sounds like?
Yes.
Is anyone good? Well, we're going to see if these speakers actually work too. So let's see. Anyone cool with like sound wise? All right. Oof, I can already hear my, that was pretty bad. Yeah, the second verse was like the best part. Yeah.
Honestly.
Maybe we could like, we should have looped that for an hour and we'll be fine. But that's not the end of what we're going to do. We have various different things we can do with this. The section I want all of y'all, when we import something into Audacity, is the effects. All of these effects will change how your image looks, which is the amazing part of it. So we have, your interface might look different. They keep on updating this. So I like the older interface. So we have distortion, we have a phaser. These are all, does anyone play guitar? Okay, so you know what these things are. Does anyone, so like, we have reverb. Does anyone know what a reverb is or a delay? So all these will change what it looks like. We also have invert, we have reverse, we have repeat, all these different effects, and it will have various different outcomes, which is amazing. And I want all of us to explore certain things and I use different effects. So I'm going to copy a section and I'm just going to go put a few, like one or two things down. Let's put a reverb. We can mess with all these knobs. Let's press apply right now. We see a difference in there. Let's change two different things. Export it. See if it actually works. Because there is a chance of failure. That's the main thing I want all of us to kind of like.
Do you see, so to see the works, you just export it?
That's,
Exchange.
and like if the file doesn't open,
Yeah.
that's when you know you've like messed up. If you actually can see your file, that's when you know it's fine. And you're gonna, so it's like, it's a iterative process. You have to like kind of like pick and choose how much of the glitch you want. And if it fails, it's okay because we can just make another copy. I converted a PNG into a BMP, and that also has an effect on it. So I don't even know if my file is properly can actually work. All of your files should be fine. So just for the sake of looking at notes, we're going to export, and we're going to export it as an uncompressed file that's raw, headerless, ULAW, export. What does that mean? We're going to go to File, Export Audio, Export to the computer. I'm going to export it to a certain section. And let's make a new file that is glitched. Okay. Save as type. We don't want a WAV file. I was using this program for sound stuff. We want it as an uncompressed file. Let's double check the notes. Other uncompressed file. And I want it raw and ULAW. The sample rate, I believe, will change it. You don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, I exported my file. Let's see if it actually did something. No. All right. Let's double check that. I'll do this one more time, and maybe I'll check a different file. That's okay. Control Z, Control Z. Let's just change one more thing. It's probably because I changed it from a PNG with no background. So let me just change one thing. I'm going to invert export audio. Should go to glitch, copy. This 2. Raw, headerless, ULAW. That looks all correct. It's in mono. That's exactly what I have. Export. Okay, I'm going to use a different file just for the sake of this. It's most likely because of the file that I used before. So I'm going to open new, and let's have what I want open. I'm not going to use one of y'all's.
But you couldn't.
I could. It would actually be kind of, no, it's okay. I'm going to use something that I already made. What? And I'm going to use one of these files for right now. They are technically already glitched. Not right now. Not right. That's
That would be beautiful. From last year.
That would be kind of funny. Actually, let me use something that this should be fine. Here's a copy. Okay.
It's a copy.
Raw files. Boom. So failure is key to this assignment. You might not get it the first time, you might not get it the second time. That's okay, and I'm here to kind of help you out with this. This is new territory. Which are, let's get the raw file. Let's pick copy. Open, ULAW, everything's fine. We're going to import this. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably the PNG. I need to do a little bit more research on that. It's been a while since I did a PNG. Usually, now I remember, if the audio file is very big, If it's all blue and you don't see any peaks, most likely it's not going to work out in theory. So let me change two things to this. We are going to change it. Let's do a reverse. And let me do another reverse over here. This is a non-glitched photo. We're going to go to File. We're going to export the audio, export, and then, you know what? I'm going to still put it on my desktop. That is fine. We're going to export this. And let me open up this. Glitch me. There we go. There is some glitch happened to it. Let me change it a little bit more and save it. Let's try to like really mess this up. But what things that we see that are different in this image? Something did change. But what changed? The colors, yeah. And what else? Should I bring the other image up?
The formatting.
The formatting, yes.
Where stuff is.
Where stuff is. So this is the. This is the original. Can you see it now? A little bit. I know it's a crazy image at first, so that is fair. So this is the original image. Yeah, let's find this out. It's right here. This is the second image. So some of it's upside down, some of it's all over the place. Let's kind of change this a little bit more. So it's not just like, there's a chance of randomness to this. We could easily make this in Photoshop, technically. There's some things that we can't do. Let's try to mess this up a little bit more. All right, let's see here. Let's, you know what? I'm going to delete some of this. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes you add too much, you won't see the image. It will corrupt too much. Let's see. What is a good one? We can do a reverse. And let's add phaser. Is that what you want to know what it sounds like? Oh, well, not right now. All of your computers are just going to fry. Let's export this again. So how to export? We're going to go to export audio, export to the computer. We're going to do it to the glitch me. I'm just going to put a number, just two different files. We're going to export, and we're going to see what happens. All right, that was too much. So when something gets too corrupted, it's going to look like this. So there's a play of doing a little bit at a time or doing too much. So let's go back. I want to add a phaser. Apply, file, audio, export. Everything's all set up. Let's do 3. Export. Okay. So we can see a little bit more visual noise there. That's what we're going to do. But I want to show you a different way to do this. This is an Audacity. I want you to do both.
When I export mine out of Audacity, it keeps, even though I keep putting .raw as the format, it keeps exporting as an AIFF.
Let me see what's up with that. I need to see how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's interesting. So let's use the same image I've done before, and I want to put it into a different program. Let's see here. So we are going to use the HxD program. It's a hex editor. We're going to go to File. We're going to import. Or we can just open, actually. Why am I saying import? And let's use... We're going to use one of the images that we've just glitched out. We are going to use this one right here. I'm going to copy this and not the raw. We're not going to use the raw one, actually. That is, I will show you how to re-import them as JPEGs right after this. So let's just use... For this one, we can use a JPEG. I am going to... I'll fix all of y'all up in a second. Copy. Let's use that. So when we put it in the in HxD, you're gonna have, it's gonna convert everything into different numbers and rows. And what we can do to manipulate some of this, we can copy a section.
Wow.
We can repeat it. We can delete sections. And we're going to see what this looks like. Again, since we're data moshing, this is all chance. It's controlled chance, if that makes any sense. And then we are going to click save. And it messed with a lot of things with it. It definitely changed the hue, but we have kind of like a fractal pattern down here as well from the original file. And that's from a JPEG. So let's prep our computers right now. And I'm going to see what errors we're finding, because in theory, this should work.
Well, theory doesn't care.
Sometimes theory doesn't care. But if I can do it, and if other people can do it, we'll figure out what is happening with all of y'all Audacity, and we'll get back to it. So I'm going to stop this right now. All right. So if you haven't noticed yet, all of your files are raw. How do you convert them back? Because if you put this in Photoshop, let's try that right now. I believe Photoshop won't read it. So let's bring up Photoshop 2025.
Oh yeah,
Oh, well, eventually we will use 2021. So for a different project. Why is Photoshop not working? We have...
Who's doing it?
We have this amazing non-generated image. It's definitely generated.
What do you mean it's I think that's the point.
All right. So let me bring in my raw data file in the Photoshop and see what happens. Well, let's press OK. Let's see what happens. Let's just put a random size. I don't know.
12 pixels by 12 pixels. Yeah, that's gonna work. Yeah. It's not gonna work because you put 12 pixels by 12 pixels.
I know. Well, there's a few. It's also not the right color. So let's do it one more time. Just so. All right. Let's put. It's not going to work. Let's do 300 and 300. There's a different way to do this. Yeah, if you try to do it, it's going to glitch it even more, and it's going to look like this. So if you try to put a raw file in there, it's not going to work. It's going to look very kind of visual staticky noise. We don't want that. So how do you convert this back into a JPEG? You right click, you rename it, you take out the raw, and then JPEG it. And then it's going to give you a warning. If you change the file name extension, this might become unusable. Are you sure? You should probably make a copy, just in case. Press OK. So now the computer thinks it's a JPEG now.
Thanks.
Well,
That's, I don't know.
we'll see. Let's put this back in. I messed it up. Let's see.
No, there's different types of JPEGs.
Let's see what I messed up on. I want to stop recording because I messed up. So we're doing things wrong. What I did is I put it back into converter on the website we're using. But there's a chance it might not work. So if you have something on the screen, if you can open up the file and say you can't corrupt it, or it's corrupted and you can't put it in Photoshop, it's uneditable, what are ways that we can kind of save our documentation to be used in different projects? There's one way we could do it. We can just take a screenshot. It's like how do you have a copy of a crypto scammers? What are they called again? NFT. You just screenshot it. That's all you got to do. Boom. The Tim and Eric meme. So we could just change the file to a JPEG like I showed you before. We could put it in a converter, but if that doesn't work out, if you can open up the file, and if you want to I want to use this for an album cover. I want to use this for a video. I want to make an analog horror, and I glitch something for it. Just take a screenshot. I feel like that's equally as valid as well. So if you really mess up and if you want to keep it or we have to keep it, just screenshot it. So we are going to make a GIF for this assignment, and GIFs are really easy to make. I really enjoy doing it. And we can upload them to a certain program so you can use them on social media, and you can use them on Instagram stories and TikTok. You can use them for TikTok as well. And if any of y'all use Facebook, you can use them on Facebook and really annoy your conservative uncle. So let's make a GIF for that occasion.
I got it.
So let's use some original asset. I will use my pre-existing glitch art just to say with the theme. Wait, what? We'll see. We'll see. Where is There we go. Well, let's get to here. We're good. All right. So put one image from your glitch art into Photoshop. You only need to put one in for now, and this video will be up, so there's no, I can send you detailed notes as well. So we're going to go to File. We're going to go to Scripts, Load into Stacks. Then you go to Browse. Then let's find our files. Mine are on my, they're in here. They are in Glitch Art 2025. And then Glitch JPEGs, which are not there. They are in, all right, let's find, all these are good. So, included in the one you just imported, we're just gonna import 4 different files in there. I'm gonna press OK, and then you're gonna press OK again. We see our files, and they're gonna slowly load in. So if you have 100 frames, you see how Photoshop is slowly putting them in. If you upload in stacks and you have a bunch of files, you could crash Photoshop. That is fine. So if you can't find the timeline section, we can see over here, all of our images are in a different layer. And if you can't find a timeline, you most likely have to go to Window and then click on the timeline. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we're going to click on Create Video Timeline. And everything is in a timeline, and they're on top of each other. And if I play it, most likely nothing will happen because they're on top of each other. Let's see here. Yes. So if I play it right now, nothing will happen. So I have a question for all of y'all. What do we need to do? What makes sense in this situation? Well, we'll see.
It makes sense.
So what we need to do, we need to change the length of each file. I'm going to make them longer so it's not like visually overstimulating. But since we're working with errors and we're working with different lengths, the closer you put them together, the faster they're going to become, and the more speed it's going to go through each frame. So I want to make these the same size right now. I want to make them a little bit more chunkier. Let's make them this big right now. All right. So let's see how this plays. I'm not going to play it just yet. I just want to see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to play the video, and I just want to see what it looks like. Okay. Not too fast. So now it's sequencing through each frame. I'm going to play that one more time. So if you want them faster, you're going to have to change the length of the file.
Should we also do it? Can we do it like in Premiere Pro or something? Just because I think it have more.
You can put in Premiere Pro. That makes sense. Yeah, you could do that. Since we're using Photoshop for this part of the class, I'd rather stick with Photoshop. But if you want to go ahead and do something different, that's fine. Just humor me, and since I just make one GIF that's shorter, and then if you have a different program you want to use completely, you can use that. But humor me and make me a GIF in Photoshop. This is a good tool to learn. It's just a really quick way to make video. Has anyone made a video in here before?
I made a GIF in
Okay, did you make a GIF in Photoshop before?
Yeah, for my last design class.
For Ricardo?
No, I had Adam.
Okay. All right, so I want to export this right now, and it's a little bit different. So we go to File, we go to, I just went blank for a second. We go to Export. Sorry about that. I had a big brain fart right there. And then, so we go to File, Export, Save to Web Legacy. Very weird. And then it's going to load. And then we're going to click Save. Usually I would want to change the resolution to 72 dpi. You can have it whatever file size you want, but the bigger the file, most likely you will crash Photoshop. But this should be fine. It's only 3 frames. I'm going to save it into a video section I already have, and I'm going to name it Class Test, and that's it. Click Save, and then I don't think anyone is using Macs. If you're doing this on a Mac, you would run into the problem of it won't play when you open the file. It will play if you upload it online, but for some reason Macs with a GIF, it just opens up the file differently. But for PCs, you should be fine. So let's look at our findings right now. Right here, you say you're cooking? I'm cooking. All right. If you notice, I do a lot of video work, and I mostly only use Photoshop now. Where is my file? Where did it go? If you notice, I am not the best tracker of
Organization. Come on, man.
yeah, I am not. That's not me. Where did it go?
I just saw that.
You just saw. There we go. Okay. So sometimes GIFs run faster when you export them. Rarely, but sometimes it happens. So FYI, just forewarn, sometimes they run a little bit faster. What happened to this file?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is what we have. It will constantly play, and we made a GIF. Congratulations. If for some reason you want to share it on social media and use it in your everyday life, say if you make something funny that's like an inside joke and you want to put it in your stories, if you're still on Instagram, whenever that dies out, we can still use it. So I like to use this platform called Giphy. And I've been using this platform for years, even though it logged me out. So this is just a platform I use. If you upload anything on there, you can use it on social media, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, it goes on Instagram, it goes on TikTok, it goes on Facebook, and I believe some other other social media stuff that I probably don't use. And I'll leave you off. With this. So I hope you had a good time making some glitch art and a GIF. Let me stop.